Hi there. When I took you on a tour of my yard, I promised I'd show you my stone fire pit and patio. So I'm going to do that today. So let's go. So before I built this, I had a little ring of rocks back here in the woods, just a little clearing and just rocks in a circle. And from there, I decided I needed a little gardening project, so this was it. I always start out by laying out a new bed or whatever with a piece of hose, and I wrap the hose around, try to get an idea of how big it's going to be, what shape it's going to be, how it's going to look. So I went with a more or less perfect circle on this. But I still had to use the hose to kind of figure out what size was going to fit all the benches and everything. I wanted to have plenty of room back here. So this was on a hill, and I had to do a lot of digging to get the hill dug down, which allowed me to make a wall over here. Without the hill, I'd have to have sunken the whole thing. So I was able to put a wall on the one side, and there's no wall on this side. But lots of digging there. I leveled it out. I put a block in the middle of the area where it was all sand. This is pure sand here all the way down, so there's no drainage issues. But I put a block in the middle and put a long 2x4 on it. Used it as a screed and just leveled the whole thing from there. The wall has crushed rock behind it. There's landscape fabric right behind the rocks, and then there's, I don't remember exactly, 6 inches or a foot of crushed rock behind that, and then topsoil behind that. Besides hauling dirt out, I had to haul topsoil in, so since this is all sand back here, I had to replace with topsoil. So the gardens around the outside have about a foot of topsoil, and I've actually lost a lot of plants back here because it doesn't get water. I have a sprinkler system in the yard, and this doesn't get watered, and it's just too far to run a hose. I can run a hose, I'm just too lazy to do it. Anyhow, a little feature here is a wood box. So I thought I need a stack of wood, so I built in a little place to put that. There was a large popple tree right around here. Well, we call them popples, poplar, aspen. I think it's all about the same thing. They tend not to live real long, so in the middle of the project I cut that down. Figured it was better for me to cut it down and put it where I wanted rather than it to fall in the fire pit later on. And then there's fire brick on the inside here. So with my old fire pit, the rocks would split. They have some moisture in them, they get hot and they split open. And so I decided, well, I should probably have something that won't do that. So I put fire brick in here. And as I'm looking at it, it looks like I need to put some more mortar in there. It's kind of falling out about. So I'm a math teacher, and I'm looking at this and thinking, if I ever try to get those bricks with mortar placed around perfectly there is no way they're going to end up where I want them at the end. It's going to be too big or too small. I'm going to have to cut a brick. I didn't have anything to cut bricks at that time. So I made a template. I figured out the math, figured out whatever kind of polygon that is. I forget how many sides now. And used that template. That was really, really helpful. It made it really easy to put that together. I've never done any concrete work before, so this was a new venture for me. So on the top there, I should mention all this rock along here on the bottom, on the patio part, it's called Onaway stone. It's a type of limestone from a town near here called Onaway, and it's about 1.5 to 2 inches thick, maybe. I guess you can see it over here. I can go maybe 1.5 inches. You can see on the steps. So I don't like when people use mixed materials when they're gardening. So I wouldn't want to have natural stone and then brick and then go to a different kind of stone. I think that looks bad. So I was a little bit concerned that having the Onaway stone here wasn't going to go with everything else. So I intentionally put in, like you can see right there, that stone's not Onaway stone. That's just a natural stone from around here, field stone, glacial stone. There's one. There's two right there. So I intentionally placed some of those throughout here just to kind of tie it together a little bit better. And on the top rocks around the fire pit here, I wanted to have it flat, so I decided to use the Onaway stone there also. Problem is that those stones aren't in exactly that shape, and I found them really difficult to break. I could break them, but they want to break horizontally, not vertically. So to shape them like I wanted them, it just didn't work very well. So what I did is cut them with a angle grinder and a diamond blade, and then I would dip the edge that was cut because it looked really bad and cut. So I dipped it in muriatic acid, and it did a pretty good job. It looks a little more natural around the edges. You can still sort of tell that I cut them, but it doesn't look nearly as bad as a fresh cut did. So I just dip them in there and just mellowed out that cut a little bit. My little benches are falling apart. I got some, they're supposed to be cedar, but they were made in China, so I don't know if it's a different kind of cedar over there. But these really haven't held up very well. I think I had 4 originally. I think I had 3 and then I bought another one. 2 of them got burned in the fire pit because they were falling apart, and these aren't far behind. So I need some other sort of seating back here. If you have any good ideas for seating, let me know. First I was going to make some half log. I was going to get some logs cut in half and make half log benches and try to make it really natural. I'm glad I didn't do that because these are easy to move back and forward. So if you're out here in the winter and it's cold and you want to cozy up to the fire, you can move the benches pretty easily. But those big logs wouldn't have been very mobile. So I need something different back here, something that fits in. I don't want bright gaudy colors. I want something that's more comfortable than these benches maybe. If you have any ideas, let me know. Anyhow, that's the tour for the day. Thanks for coming along.